If you haven't been to Walt Disney World in years, or maybe you've never been before, there are a lot of misconceptions about the place where dreams come true out there. So in today's video, I'm going to go over the 9 most common misconceptions about Walt Disney World. Number 9, everything's within walking distance. You can walk from your resort to any of the parks and back to any other resort. There are actually 2 sides of this misconception. There are some who feel like everything is right within walking distance, and there are others who feel like if you don't have a car, you're never going to be able to get anywhere. Unlike Disneyland and California Adventure, Disney World is a little bit more spread out. You have to take a bus or a boat or a gondola from your resort to the parks and to other resorts. Tying in with number 9, do you need a car to get everywhere? Not necessarily, but if you're staying at one of the off-site resorts or hotels, you may want to consider it. It just depends on the resort and the hotel that you're staying at. If you're staying at one of Disney's on-site resorts, which I do recommend, you don't need a car at all. But if you're staying off-site, sometimes they have free shuttles, sometimes an Uber or a Lyft is less expensive. It's just something that you have to work out. Number 8, which I hear quite a bit more than you may think, the monorail goes everywhere at Walt Disney World. Many of us wish this was true, and if you're like me and you wish the monorail went everywhere at Walt Disney World, let me know in the comments below. But for those who are new to Walt Disney World, the monorail only stops at the Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and the Magic Kingdom resorts, including the Contemporary, Polynesian Village, and Grand Floridian. Number 7, you'll find Disney characters all over the place when you visit Walt Disney World. Although we have been getting a lot more of those meet and greets and dance parties and parades with characters throughout the years, they're not everywhere. You do have to sometimes do a little bit of searching to find the character that you're looking for. Number 6, you have to do an extreme amount of planning in advance of a Walt Disney World vacation, otherwise you won't have a fun time. I've made several videos about this topic. Yes, planning is a lot of fun and can add to the experience, but can you go to Walt Disney World without any plan at all? Absolutely. I've made many videos about planning for a Walt Disney World vacation, but what you want to prioritize are those fast pass reservations and dining reservations. If you get those done, everything else will just fall into place. Number 5, a Disney vacation is more expensive than any other style of vacation that you can take. Walt Disney World is expensive, no doubt about it. We all wish it was less expensive, but that being said, you do get what you pay for. Now, is it the most expensive vacation you can possibly take? No. Just think about traveling overseas. No matter where you are, if you're traveling to a different destination, that's almost always going to be more expensive. Not always, but a lot of the time. And at just about every beach in the United States, there's some kind of deluxe resort or hotel where you will probably pay more than most resorts at Walt Disney World. So yes, you can have a more expensive vacation a lot of other places. Number 4, it is always hot and sunny at Walt Disney World. I'm not even really sure where that misconception comes from, because if you're there in the summer, yes, it is hot sometimes, but more often than not, it's going to rain during the day. Maybe for an hour, maybe for 30 minutes, but it's going to rain at least a little bit during most vacations, so just be ready for that. Number 3, they only serve theme park food at Walt Disney World, like burgers and fries. Although Walt Disney World does have theme park food like burgers and fries and cotton candy, they have some unbelievable restaurants with sushi and steak and things that are absolutely delicious. The second most common misconception that I've heard about Walt Disney World, it is always crowded. Now, if I was to tell you that Disney World is never crowded, that simply would not be the case. I've been there during the 4th of July and New Year's, where you are crammed in like a sardine. It is super, super packed. But I've also been there during kind of the off-season when school is in session and there aren't as many people around. Yes, it is true that the crowds aren't quite as low as they were maybe 10 years ago, but times change and so does Disney. Last but not least, the number 1 misconception that I hear about Walt Disney World, it's just for kids. Walt Disney World was specifically designed to be perfect for every age group, from the young to the young at heart. So no matter how young or old you are, everyone can have fun at Walt Disney World. Now, of the 9 misconceptions that I mentioned in this video, which is the one that you hear most frequently from friends, family, coworkers, or anyone who's just talking Disney? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.